Hello everybody, welcome back to Wappleville and welcome back to some more Marvel Crisis Protocol terrain here. We're going to try and do another one of these. Here's the last one. Looks like that. So hey there Armored Wolf. All of this paint is dry. I mean like bone dry, even all of the glowy stuff. Which normally that would still, especially like the orange stuff, that would still be drying at this point. So that didn't work out too shabby. I don't think so. And we're going to try it again. Hey there, Ryan. Sorry it's so late. So, geez, Ryan and Landress, nice to see you too. So Ryan, hopefully you didn't get quite what happened down here, because I think you saw what happened down here. Hey there, Blades. Great to see you. So Blades, let's see. You'll have to well wait a little bit to post your stuff in the chat there. Hey Camda, nice to see you. So Camda, all of the basically we used mostly the new alkyds, and they're all dry on this thing. Whether it's the black, whether it's the orangey glow stuff, whether it's the yellow glow, so all that stuff is dry. So I think it's a positive there. Oh, do I have some of them? Wait a minute. Oh, I thought I had a bunch of them here. So, oh, they're in the kitchen. I have a bunch of those cauldrons prepped and ready to go. See you in a bit there, Landrast. So Ryan, same thing. Just wait a little bit to post stuff in the chat there. Yeah, maybe just wait a little bit before doing that. That would probably be the best idea there. Oh, also too, yeah. So yeah, Armored Wolf. What's interesting is that I got 4 of these. They are definitely a little bit different, and there's none of the brush holders in them. Maybe that's why they're $2.99 again. I'm not sure. So Ryan, great to see you. It was insane here with the weather, fires. Actually, Ryan, are you getting snow now? Because there's some places that are getting blizzards. I was wondering about that. Were you actually getting snow now? Because of course, right? That makes total sense that would happen. Here, I'm gonna get me a little bit of the yellow in there now, a little more of the thinner. Now we're gonna get cranking on this stuff down in here. So see you a little bit there, Landrast. So Blades, I hope that you're doing well. Hopefully you didn't have too bad of storms and stuff up there. I know I saw the picture with Cooper trying to literally use you as a human shield there. So hopefully you were okay. So yeah, Ryan, I think it's about 49 here, something like that. I guess they are talking about snow for Sunday. I mean, like a dusting, maybe, not even. So yeah, Camden, it was all kinds of crazy here. That's for sure. Armored Wolf and I both had max velocity on while we were doing all our work and stuff. That was pretty wild, wasn't it, Armored Wolf? At one point there was 23 tornado warnings all at once. That wasn't like total. That was just at one time. So yeah, hopefully that all ends soon enough for everybody. Get that out of the way. So yeah, Camden, remember I said that this one I can't find this piece right here. No idea where it is. Still haven't found it. They'll just have to live with it without it. that's how that's gonna have to go. And this went Armored Wolf, wouldn't you say? I mean, he basically had to end his stream because you can only stream for 12 hours on YouTube for any one stream. And when he ended the stream, there were still 13 active tornado warnings going on. I believe there were at least a dozen fatalities in Missouri alone. There's a few towns that don't exist anymore. They used to be there. Now they've been moved several hundred miles away. So yeah, I was telling Recoil about that. I'm like, Recoil, by all means, move here. Hey there, Riot Sister. Great to see you there, Riot Sister. If there's anything that you wanted to post in the chat, I know it's been a little crazy and you probably haven't done a ton of painting the last month or so. But if you wanted to share anything in the chat, please go ahead. Camda, at the same time, I was getting pictures of hailstorms. I was getting pictures of fires. There was a 50-car pileup in Amarillo because of dust storms. Actually, there was another big pileup somewhere else because of blizzards. Yeah, I saw his post earlier there, Blades. Oh, no problem there, Riot Sister. No problem. Great to see you, though, Riot Sister. As always, great to see you. Now, I'm going to get me a little bit more thinner in this. And, of course, Camda last night was it was the first game for the doggies, and they were missing so many players. I literally couldn't tell who had the ball because I can only listen to basically the radio call. And I'm like, who are these? Who is this person? I don't exactly have the Ruse roster memorized. And of course, one of the Ruse key players this season is a guy that was a doggy for years. So I'm hearing the only familiar name. I'm like, but why is he in a Ruse jersey? What's going on here? Hey there, Mr. Clean. So Mr. Clean, hopefully I don't think you guys got hit too hard by all the craziness, did you? So yeah, Riot Sister. That's what this is for. This is Marvel Crisis Protocol Terrain 4 Adepticon. We did this terrain last Thursday, right? Yeah, on our Thursday stream. We didn't stream last night because of all the crazy weather stuff. Thursday before that, we were doing this. So yeah, we're doing all kinds of MCP terrain. So Mr. Clean, if you wanted to talk about the Song of Ice and Fire tournaments at Adepticon, please go ahead. And this time you won't have to go to a separate building, so if you guys want to join in the fun on the Song of Ice and Fire tournaments, now it's all in the same building. You don't have to go somewhere else. So yeah, Mr. Clean, I think I might have sent Kimberly the pictures of the Ugly Doll cookie cutters that I print. Yeah, 3D printed Ugly Doll cookie cutters. I'll have to. Oh, there you go. I'll have to bring you a batch of those. I'll have to print out a batch of them and bring them for you, so that you guys too can enjoy the wonder that is Ugly Doll cookie cutters. And we've also been working on a bunch of things for Adepticon, trying to get ready for that. We're also, I think there's a team tournament. There's a friendly, right, Mr. Clean, and then there's the regular tournaments. I'm not sure if you would call it like the Masters tournament or whatever. So Roger, I hope that you're doing well. Of course, thanks for being here, and thank you so much for the bits. Appreciate those. So Mr. Clean, well, I do have, I think I might have showed Kimberly this, so this is something that Kathy had made, and there just wasn't the option for making stickers like there are now, so we made a sticker of that. We got all kinds of fun things like that we're bringing to Adepticon. Oh, and of course, I think you saw these, right? We got a couple of these, so we have me throwing the flaming chainsaws, and then there's Kathy there on a genuine poker chip. That's good, Sarge. Yeah. That whole dust storm thing, that was even crazier. I gotta say, as crazy as everything else was, that dust storm thing, that was even more. And then seeing the satellite images of Oklahoma with just fires all over the place. Roger, well, I hope that you're going to be okay there because, I think you're getting what we got last night. And I think you guys are getting way more rain than what we got here. I think here was all the tornadoes and stuff, but you guys are getting all of the rain. So the Chimera is on Thursday. Friday's the team. Saturday is the championship. And Sunday is the friendly. Okay. So there's a little bit of an update there on what's all going on with the Song Ice and Fire tournament. So Roger, again, sorry that everything's crazy there, and so is things kind of sort of winding down there a little bit for heavy T blades? I mean, I hope things are winding down for everybody, but I know that Sunday there's still going to be mischief. So Sarge, I guess you can. What is it, like $20 on Amazon or something like that to watch that? And I guess, well, was it any good at all? Now here's hoping the heavy T will be just fine. I don't know. I think when you're more used to that kind of thing, maybe it's not quite as impactful. When it's something like, oh, gee whiz, look, tornado sirens. Again. Yay. It must be Tuesday. Well, that's good. That's good, Blades. Well, hopefully we can be, see what I can be, we can be the calm in the storm for folks. Yeah, see, now that, again, that is wordsmithing you don't get just anywhere. Look at that. Let's get, you know what, I'm going to get a little bit more of the lighter stuff going on over here. Some more heat, and maybe there, maybe there. All right. What we got? Nope, gotta get some more of that over here. Okay. You know what? Do I have? I do have. I think this is the orangey one, right? Yeah. So here we go. See what? That's what we're fixing to do here. Now look at this. See that? See that? Maybe we try and do a little shadow or something there. Professor Grimm, there are parts of that are missing. It's 4 years old, and well, it's been roughed up a bit. It's like it's played a game of Aussie rules. So yeah, Camden, I'm waiting. I meant to send a message to Recoil there, because obviously Recoil is he's all about the pouches, and here we're all about the puppies. So there's a wee bit of a rivalry there. Yeah, it's a little bit of a Wappleville rivalry, puppies versus pouches, and well, again they're missing. Well, they're going to get pounded by Collingwood next week. I mean, they are going to get absolutely destroyed, because I do believe some of the mainline players, they're not coming back for weeks yet. So yeah, there's some parts of that missing. I mean, even our hype train cookie, there's part of that is gone. Oh geez, I still got to get some new. I got to get those new batteries in the actual hype train. Yeah, hype train ain't gonna sound so great if the batteries are dead. So check this out, Ryan. That's usually something that I gotta wait at least 30, 40 minutes to do. So that's something it's not just the fact that they dried faster. The fact that they set up faster, Ryan, is pretty wild. Oh, and I've got things set up. Oh, and here you go. Yeah, last night while we were waiting out the storms here and listening to max velocity, those 12 cauldrons that I printed out. See this part right here? That part I forgot to print out. I printed out all of these and another part, but I didn't print out. There's actually 4 parts. I printed out 3. So on the bottom of each of these flames, is a little divot there, and I had to saw that off of 12 of them. And that took, let's just say it took a while. Yeah, and I was telling Armored Wolf, I said, well, I thought I was maybe even going to be able to film this tonight, but I got to sit here and rip like 12 of these things and saw them apart. Yeah, that didn't work out quite as expected there. That's fantastic, Professor Grimm. And again, everybody, please give Professor Grimm a follow. So again, we're establishing. Look at this. I mean, this is crazy, Camda. This is absolutely bonkers. That should not be happening. What we at 23 minutes in, and we had a raid. This should only be happening. Oh, I want to say about 35 to 45 minutes from now, max. That's insane. That should not be happening. So, Professor Grimm, that sounds super sensational. Yeah, we're gonna. Oh, we also we got a new supply of about 40 of these here things. So we're gonna make use of them now. All right, what are we looking at here? We're gonna grab some of this, some of this. All right, fine. We'll get a little bit of thinner in there. Whatever. So everybody check out that link that This Mechanic Games just posted there. Everybody please give This Mechanic Games a follow while you're at it. Oh, and here's a little bit of a programming note for folks going to Adepticon. Saturday and Sunday, things are going to get interesting because your Milwaukee Bucks have a pair of home games. For anybody that's been to Gen Con, when when the Colts would have a preseason game, that's going to be super interesting because it ain't going to just be parking. All those restaurants that are downtown, guess who's also going to be wanting to go into those? Yeah, it ain't just going to be Adepticon, folks. So that's going to be real interesting. So you might want to just be prepared. I'm just saying. Oh, and by the way, it's March Madness. Now, of course, Wapples are all about the sportses here. Let's see if we've got our. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there we go. There we go. 1 second here. Nope, that's not what I want. I want this one here. Yeah. So my brother, he earned fan of the year from my niece's team. So yeah, that's my brother Tom there, and the Tri-Valley Vikings. He's their fan of the year. So Sarge, sorry that everything is just so crazy there. And if you gotta hit the hay there, Sarge. Well, Sarge, as long as you don't have to take Bradley showers. Yeah, as long as you don't have to take Bradley showers. How many? Was it like 2.5 weeks of Bradley showers there, Sarge? I know it probably wasn't that long, but it must have felt like it was that long. Let's get a little bit more of our steel color there. Let's start doing some of that on here because reasons. So Camden, remember I said that I wasn't going to have to work quite as hard on this one because it was primed darker? This was primed second. It's kind of like the Army-Navy game. You always want to sing second. So this was primed much darker than the other one, so I'm not going to have to do quite as much of the darker glazy things like we had to do on this one. Now, on the plus side, it really did darken down things, especially up top, where we wanted to create the shadow areas for all of our glowy things, right? So it didn't work out too bad there. So, okay, I wasn't that far off then. So it was 2 weeks. I'm sure, again, to you, it felt like 2 months. For sure. So yeah, Cam, the the first time around, I just, well, the terracotta primer, I was pouring it from a gigantic container, like a half-gallon container, into this. And as you can tell by all the streaks on there, this tends to get overfilled very easily. So yeah, when I primed the first one, I think you can, yeah, see how this one got, if you, it's, well, unfortunately, these are all painted. When you see some of these, some of them are like dramatically lighter. So again, we're just going to drop some of this on here. Let me get a little bit of that over here. And again, we got our 20-something cent crafty brushes going on here. So do we care if we beat the snot out of them? We do not care. So Mr. Clean, I wasn't sure what you thought of some of the free agency moves across the league there. And I guess the big question is a certain number 8 going to Pittsburgh or to the purple? Is it Pittsburgh or purple? Where is he going? Yeah, we'll hit this last one here. Oh, hey, actually, Camda, gee whiz, sorry I forgot. If you wanted to post your bust, sorry, I was like, wait a minute, that was something I wanted to ask Camda. Yeah, if you want to post that bust that you painted with the oils, please go ahead and post that. Sorry about that, Camda. It's been a very confusing week. This has been a very bizarre and confusing week here, to say the least. And of course, Camda, you had a little sneaky chance to see just how bizarre and confusing it was, right? With because I think it was, you know what? I think only you and oh gosh, now I just forgot their name. I think you two are the only guys to see the video in its original form, if you know what I'm talking about. Everybody, please check out that link that Camda just shared. So again, all we're doing, right, just trying to build in some of this here. We will still be doing glazy stuff over this. We'll still be doing that. Where's my... there you are. Come on, a little more of you. Wow, this is bizarre. I mean, this is already kind of getting gummy here. These, Ryan, these fluoros here, the Alkyd fluoros, man, they set up mighty quick. Telling you, man, holy smokes. I'm glad you're going to get those printed out there, Camda. That's cool. I think you're going to have fun hitting those too. So yeah, Camda, since there is no script, you know, it's one thing when you're just painting, right? Just, okay, I'm just going to paint this, whatever. But when you're just trying to do an intro, and there's no script or something like that, sometimes, well, let's put it this way, Camda, sometimes you just kick it right across the face of goal, and it goes out of bounds on the full, which I'm pretty sure only you and I understand what any of that means. What could that, I mean, it's perfect. Again, it's all about that wordsmithing. So when you're going to stream, talk about stuff that nobody in the audience has any idea what you're talking about. Well, except for maybe one person and any other random Aussies that might also be listening until Recoil gets in here. I mean, that is like, that is streaming 101 right there. For all you young players out there, that's what you're trying to do. And that's an even more obscure reference that only somebody from Chicago would understand, who happened to watch lots and lots of White Sox games. So yeah, Camda, what could possibly go wrong with using really obscure sports analogies? I mean, that is the top way to communicate right there. Now we're doing this because our little doggies up here, our little jackals, those are going to be kind of that darker bluish gray. I think you can see them on here. There you go. Yeah, you can see our little jackals. Look at that. They do have their golden collars. Again, this is what we're fixing to do right here. Hey there, Sectrix. How you doing? So Sectrix, I'll have to send you some of the crazy weather pictures that I've gotten from people. So Sectrix, I haven't had a chance to write them again about. Thanks for filling me in on the other airbrushes there. So I'll ask him about the other ones. And I mean, it can't hurt, right? it certainly can't hurt. You can only try, right, Camda? Oh, that's fantastic, Sectrix. Yeah, because it weren't so fantastic here, that's for sure. Tornadoes, floods, fires. High wind, snow, yeah, blizzards. Yep, Sectrix, I mean, all kidding aside, how many things have we found here that have become staples, like literal staples for the process, where it started out as, oh, wow, what's this? I don't know, let's try it. It probably won't work. Yeah, that's probably not going to work. We'll try it. If we don't like it, no big deal. And the next thing you know, it's, oh, well, this is like an essential part of the process now. I mean, it's not like it's become the basis of all of our airbrush videos, right, Sectrix? So Camda, I was going to leave it like this in case I found the extra part. If I don't find the extra part, I'm going to snip these things off and put some cracks there and make it, like put some scorching there or something like that. Make it look like there's some kind of damage to it. I just didn't want to, well, I didn't want to be hasty. Don't be hasty, right, Camda? You know what happens to hasty hobbits. I mean, you saw what happens to hasty hobbits. Don't be hasty. You don't want that hobbit hat, right, Camda? Yeah, Sectrix, I figured it was the same one. There did seem to be, oh gosh. I meant to tell you what I thought the differences were. It was more like, I think because I could swear that it had a better mount for the airbrush on it than the one that I have. I mean, obviously it's got the 7 different levels. A lot of it is, I mean, it's got to be darn near identical, right, right, Sectrix? It kind of makes sense that it almost would be. Sectrix, that'd be fantastic. Now, Sectrix, what the heck? Oh, gosh, I'll just have to send you a picture of it. And I think I did talk about it in the video. There's this, like, this weighted thing that looks like it's supposed to hold the airbrush, except the airbrush is about 10 times too heavy for that thing to actually work. So say we all. Hey there, Landrast. Thanks, Landrast. Appreciate that. Camda, oh my gosh. Wait a minute, Camda. Wait a second. Wait a second. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now, this is something that could actually work on the, because, with the stitching there, right, with the embroidery, they want simpler designs, simpler line drawings. So, Camda, what if it was basically just like a line drawing of a hobbit hole or a hobbit door with hasty on it? I mean, literally just the door of the hobbit house, and it just says hasty. And that should be a simple enough line drawing, wouldn't you think? Yeah, I think that'd be a simple enough line drawing. So yeah, Sectrix, that can't hurt. Now, is it one of those things that kind of has a little, where you can attach it to your desk and stuff? It's got the little crank and everything, the little screws and stuff. That would be cool. Wouldn't hate that. What are we doing here? So Canva, yeah, because the Book of Wapple stuff, they said it was just too complicated for the simple embroidery to work well. But something like that would be simple enough to work, I think. Well, Sectorix, I think that would be fantastic. Here we go. Here we go. So Landrast, actually, ironically, I thought you had gotten the Mars Yellow Deep. When I saw the paints that you sent today, the picture you sent today, I thought for sure one of them was Mars Yellow Deep. But I think it was a yellow ochre, right? And then the other one, was that a burnt sienna? No, it was burnt umber, right, Landrast? I think it was burnt umber anyways. And yeah, Sectorix, I was telling Armored Wolf about, that having STO files that could be part of, Patreon pledges and stuff. Where, again, they wouldn't be super complicated sculpts or something like that, but even if it was just like texture plates. Actually, here's another thing, Sectorix. Texture rollers. Oh, man, they're just out of my reach. I literally... Wait a minute. I am bound and determined to try and get this thing out here. All right, there we go. These things, the texture rollers, because guess what? Those are done as an STL file, and I'm sure they're printed out. And I've actually printed out texture rollers from other places. So this would be neat if we could do our own texture rollers. Now, I know that making repeating patterns like that is not, it's not exactly child's play, because there's a lot of factors that go into that. But that might be, that could be something that's not super difficult, but could be very impactful, because, well, gee whiz, oh look, we're doing an army painting series on elves, and oh look, we have an elf texture roller that you can get the STL files. Both yellow ochre, burnt and domestic. Oh, yesterday was burnt umber. All right, I knew that burnt umber was one of them, and I know burnt sienna was one of them. Well, yeah, you've got all the browns there, Landrast. I guess the question is, do you have... And it is the Williamsburg Van Dyke Brown. That's right. So again, with this being darker, we're not necessarily going to have to do quite as much of the darker glaze with the coal black like we did here. We're still going to do that probably, but probably not as much. I think you're going to like that, Landrast. I think you will like that for sure. So yeah, things like texture rollers, basing bits. Obviously, it would really ultimately having sculpts, like as in, well, here's a bust, here's a whatever figure, something like that. That would be nice, but maybe something a little bit simpler like basing bits or texture rollers, which could then be part of army painting series or whatever. That might not be the worst thing in the world. That could be useful, I think. So this is just a Mars Yellow Deep. That's why I asked Landrast about it, because it's basically like a supercharged yellow ochre. Mostly because it has oxides. Yes, it has the super duper oxides. That's what we love. We love our oxides. Now I might... Sorry to keep going back to my reference here. But I'm looking at the... Okay, so we don't have to necessarily go too much... Yeah, we're not going to go too much later with that. Okay. Alright. That's... I would have actually been a little bit earlier, but I did want to make sure that I had these references ready. Not these references, but these references. So yeah, the fabulous Mars yellow Jeep, because it's fabulous. Now we're kind of treating the, well, the radiant blue version of ice blue here as ice blue. It's not necessarily ice blue. Thanks, Cam. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. So Sector X, I'll definitely have to see what kind of texture roller files that you got there. I'm trying to think. The last time I had a new texture roller was, wow, I think well over a year ago. We're talking potentially like 18 months ago was the last new texture roller that I've had. So yeah, more new texture rollers, more better. Love me some texture rollers. Going to hit this now. Get me a little something there. Yeah, alright. Now, good. I have, well, that one's a little more beat up than I wanted it to be, but we'll just, we'll roll with it here. Come on, where's my coal black? That's going to be dry. Now, that's fantastic, Sector X. Well, let's see. Especially, well, I know there's the Elven series that I want to start at, which probably is not going to start till after Adepticon. But that was one I definitely wanted to use a texture roller for. So anything you think would be appropriate for Elvish type things, or Elvis, whatever. Hey there, 10K Orcs, how you doing? Well, it's still a happy Saturday here. We still have a happy Saturday for 28 minutes. For some of our friends there, well, it's well into Sunday, of course, for some of our friends. And not just for our Aussie friends, but for our Eastern time zone friends. And again, everybody that is now east of the Mississippi, hopefully you guys are doing okay. You're still mostly in one piece. You haven't blown away or floated away. 10K Orcs, I don't know, did you get in on any of that action that was beaten up on Toronto there? So yeah, 10K Orcs, that's why there was no stream last night. It was, well, it was a bit of precaution, let's put it that way. There was a wee bit of precaution going on there. Oh, let me grab this. Let me grab some of you. Alright. Let me see how this here is going to work. Bravo. That's what we were looking for there. Now, we shall continue with that here. Basically refreshing the brush every time. So glad that you didn't have to deal with any weather mischief there, 10K. Because that is... so Sarge, again, I know you probably already went off to bed. But again, everybody stay safe out there with, again, all the mischief that is going on, weather-wise. More of that. No. I'm going to grab me some of that. So I think it's fair to say that the MVP, well, I think we expanded the MVPs of our Alkids here, because initially it was, well, there's some that almost directly mirror the Radiant colors, which is super handy. Then there was the Coal Black, which is basically like a very poor man's black spinel. And again, if you have a tube of black spinel, you probably are now a poor man. You weren't before, but you are now after you got it. Hey there, Grand Oracle. Nope, there was no session last night. All of the crazy weather stuff that was going on, I just said, nope, there is no point in doing this. Now, as it turned out, we got super, 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 super lucky here. Everybody else around me, not so much. Especially folks in Missouri, which is mostly not there anymore. I guess most of Mississippi's not there anymore. Hey there, Spoon Handle, how you doing? Everybody please give Spoon Handle a follow. So Spoon Handle, you want to share stuff in the chat, like always, please go ahead. I'll start, and again, now this is the most intriguing part of the stream. This is the part that everybody looks forward to. This is the part where we mix paint. Yeah, this is stunning. This is like, everybody says, this is like edge of your seat kind of stuff right here. I mean, that is like, everybody, it takes everybody's breath away seeing paint being mixed. Now, welcome back there, Maynot. Maynot, if before you go, if you wanted to share some of your stuff in the chat, everybody please give Maynot a follow as well. So give Spoon Handle, who just posted an Insta link. So go check out Spoon Handle's Insta link. And of course, please give Maynot a follow, give Spoon Handle a follow. And give Sebastian a follow as well. All right, let me see what we got here as far as... Nope. Wow, that is so powerful. We got to thin that down some more. Man, oh man, that is some potent stuff right there. Gee whiz. Look at that. Man, oh man. So these are just regular oil paints, Sebastian, right out of the tube. And here we go. So this is the main brand is Speedball. Mona Lisa's kind of the sub-brand, and it is high-quality odorless paint thinner. It's not turpentine, it's not solvent or anything, it's just a high-quality odorless thinner. And we have all kinds of, again, regular artist oils that we're using here. Where's my Winsor Newton? There we go. Well, and now, I guess we have to call it the big five. So you got what? Gamlin, Winsor Newton, Richardson, Williamsburg, and now the Paul Rubens. So just regular oil paints right out of the tube right there. There will be different pricing. There will be different levels of quality, but not every brand has the same type of paint necessarily that we're looking for, or the same colors maybe that we're looking for. And of course, you do not need lots of oil paints to get started. You could just get two. You could get a light color and a dark color and just do some value studies just to get used to the oil paints to start things out. Yeah, it's so cool. Right, Spoon Handle, when you see them like this, and you see you got the candle glows down there, you got the torch glows up on the top there. It really does, it makes something that's smaller look a little bit bigger. So again, everybody please check out that Discord link that Maynot just shared. And now, did you share your stuff there yet, Sebastian? Yeah, make sure you do share that so people know about your Kickstarter there. Let me hit this here. Yeah, Grand Oracle, you could have one tube of, oh gosh, what are we talking about? Perling Crimson and one tube of Cobalt Teal, not on sale, or the entire Paul Rubens set, right? That's pretty wild, right? So again, all we're doing here is now we're starting to do a little bit of pinline washy type stuff in some of these areas. Just doing a little bit of pinline washy stuff. Nothing fancy, nothing crazy. Fine, we'll just hit that two whatevers. Oh, and of course they are, that's right, Grand Org. I keep forgetting that those are 50 mil tubes. Now, the other thing we will have to see, okay, what happens when they're about halfway done? Are they going to start getting all cottage cheese in the inside? So and of course that's the disadvantage. The primary disadvantage is you can't get them individually. You can only get them as a set. So if you, for whatever reason, start tearing through one or two colors, you're gonna have to get a whole new batch of them. Oh no! 1 second there, Grand Oracle. Here, let me. If it's spelled as one word, it doesn't care. But if it's spelled as separate words, obviously that's how it's supposed to be. But yeah, if it's spelled as separate words, it'll nab that. So sorry about that, Grand Oracle. Nice to see you there, Denethor. Everybody, please give Denethor a follow. So Denethor, if you want to share some stuff in the chat, please go ahead. Grand Oracle, you remember I got mine essentially the next day. And by the next day, I mean I ordered them at 5 in the morning. By noon, they were here. So we're talking like 7 to 8 hours. I mean, that's scary. So Denethor, we're just kind of doing checks on everybody here to see if they're still around and okay after all the crazy weather stuff here. So yeah, Grand Oracle, unfortunately, you remember we had to leave him set at Supermax because of, well, stuff. I did find out that on Max Velocity stream, his chat automatically deletes any chat message that's done in all caps. It's just automatically wiped out. Doesn't matter what it says, it's just automatically wiped out. Okay, that wasn't supposed to go down there. I see what I need to do. Let me grab a little bit of this here. Come on. Ah, that's more like it. I needed to tilt that over just a little bit there. So Grand Oracle, ironically enough, I was hoping to film an airbrush video. I don't think I'll be able to do it tonight after the stream. I'll give it a try. Well, it might be more like our printing workshop episodes, where I'm basically like filming some parts of it and it ends up as part of a video. Yeah, it probably won't be a straight up video. So you might hear me say, "Oh, well, here we go. I'm just filming these random airbrush sessions." Just because I want to film them and they'll be patched into something. So yep, Denethor, this is all about the Adepticon stuff here. All about the Marvel Crisis Protocol. So the thing that I wanted to film was actually it was about, well, it was going to be ironically enough a printing workshop, and it was going to be comparing working with the black PLA versus the, what is that? What's the light beige? Yeah, the black PLA versus the beige. No. We have to use our other. Yeah, we're going to want to use our Payne's gray there. We're going to use our magenta there. Because here, take a look-see at the door. You can see it kind of has that strong magenta look to it, right? So we want to make sure we have a magenta look to that. Everybody please check out that Instagram link that Denethor shared. And please give Denethor a follow as well. So Denethor, looking forward to when you get your that first stream going. And best of luck, of course. Yeah, again, we're just going to let that work its way down into there. Not up there. Not up there. Oh, never did get this. All right. Oh, I think we had a raid. I think we had a raid during that. And we do appreciate all the raids. Thank you so much to, again, to Sebastian for the raid. Denethor, there was a couple of folks that were quite convinced this was definitely a Tomb King's piece of terrain. It sure has the vibe, doesn't it? That's fantastic there, Denethor. So I was wondering what you were going to do as a first stream, if it was going to be more of a sculpting type, but that's a perfect, or what would you say, kind of intro stream there, Denethor. That's fantastic. And again, everybody please give Denethor a follow if you could. Yeah, we're just trying to work in a few more darks here, like you do. Now, Denethor, I know you don't have any kind of stream schedule, because that can take a while to hash out. But if you want to let folks, when you might be streaming again, that would be good. Possible next stream. Hey there, Valfira. So, Valfira, has it relented at all there, or is it still, as they say in some parts, tipping down? Hopefully, that started to ease up just a bit there. And it seemed like it was really that central to eastern part of Tennessee there, Valfira. Because I know there was parts of Tennessee, like the western third, that was getting kind of nuked during the night last night. I'll have to show you the pictures that Grey Wolf sent me of Kentucky there and the 2 inches of hail that were sitting on his house. Alright, a little less of that. More thinner in there. Okay, there you go. Alright. Maybe that's how we want to approach that. And again, we don't mind if some of this mixes, right, with what we've already got there. Oh, and by the way, an hour ago this had no paint on it. 1 hour and at least 2 raids, maybe 3. This had no paint on it. I know that's totally shocking, right, Valfira? Oh, and Valfira, I think we can say that the new alkyds are a big success as far as the fluoros go, because it's all, yeah, they all dried. Completely 100% dried. That's, yeah, that's fantastic, Denethor. So, yeah, sorry about that, Valfira. I know on top of everything else, and that can't be good for allergies either. There's no way, shape, or form that is good for allergies. Do we need to? Sure, fine. We'll just hit this here. We'll just let that do what it's going to do. Can't letting it sneak into places here. Doing whatever. Do we? No, we got to get this too. Come on, there we are. See, if we go into these corners, it goes like that. And it even makes that sound too. Yes, it makes that sound. So yeah, that, and the fact that they set so quickly was huge, because it means we can get to that second, third application not just faster, but significantly faster than what would normally happen. And again, that is a massive advantage. Yeah, I think. Oh, and what was the? Oh, we have a new. Speaking of quickly. We have a new potential merch thing for embroidered stuff. Yeah, a hat that just says Hasty. Now, we can't have a little conical hat like our Hasty dunce cap. We can't have that. But we could do a baseball hat or there actually are other hats that are almost more Hobbit-like, and we could have we could have those say hasty. Here, yeah, let's come on. Let's do that. There we are. Again, just letting things mix here. Letting things mix. Now, did I do this yet? No, I guess I didn't. I thought I already got that one. Guess I didn't. Well, did now. Boom. Nah. Alright, fine. I'll hit that again too. Let's take this stuff. I'm just gonna mix my own little. Here, let me grab some of this. That's our magenta there, and a little bit of our naphthol scarlet. We will mix. You know what? I'm gonna do a little more of that. A little more of you, and then we're gonna get some of that in there. Once again, we're back to the riveting paint mixing exercise. Yes. Hey there, Taco Food Truck. How you doing? Now that's already got me hungry for our after stream vittles there. So Denethor, there's a whole bunch of different Perline colors, and none of them seem to have that in common. Just like, because there's the Perline red, there's the Perline crimson, there's all kinds of crazy different Perlines, right, Denethor, and they're all just kind of unrelated. They all just, that's like they're all named Smith. There you go. It's the equivalent of Smith in painting. It's all Perline. It's kind of like, Welsh gray. Yeah, just like, you have Indian gray, ultramarine gray, cobalt gray, cadmium gray. Yeah, it's the same thing. Same process there. So if this is that's not a clock face there. That is, I have no idea. I have no idea what that actually is. I have no idea what that actually might be myself. Where is there was another, oh, up here. That's right. That's where you were gonna be. Is over there. Oh, look, a blending brush. Like that. And I think that's it for that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try to find yet another one of these things here. Do I have one? Probably not. So we're just going to have to go on the palette for this. Let's start grabbing some of this here magenta. And that will go in here. Like so. It's going to start tinting that a little bit. So that looks very different now, before we've even done any kind of fluoro stuff. So Taco Food Truck, the, what was it? Oh yeah, our, what is it? Oh, the matter color, like brown matter, purple matter. There's all these other matter color, and I know that brown matter is created from the madder plant. It's a plant-based paint pigment there, like a lot of pigments are. Well, a lot of pigments tend to be either plant-based based on metals of various types, or based on certain minerals, or really stinky oysters or whatever. Okay, so we got that. Now I need my paints gray. Come on. For our little jackals up here, get them, some of their dark. Yeah, Phil Fair, there's just, it's kind of a catch-all. It's a bit of a catch-all. Now I think, oh, wait a secola here. We need to get some of that over here. Almost forgot this guy. What are we doing here? There we are. Oh, no. Better bring back my name. Well, maybe leave that where it is. I think we'll just leave that where it is then. Gonna get me more of this here magenta. Like that. Okay, and enough of that. Enough of that. How's about we go back up here and we do some darks on this while we're letting this stuff set? No, wait, I know what we can do. I know what we can do here. 1 second here. Yep, Landress, you can never have too much mangoes in your paint pigments. There's no such thing as too much mango in paint pigment. Oh, there's already some of that over here. Come on. I'm going to get me some more of that floral yellow in here. Alright, Mr. Candle, you need to be brighter. Oh, look at that. See, we can make our candles brighter. Then, there is some of our... we'll be using that Mars Yellow Deep. Believe it or not, yes, we are using Mars Yellow Deep as a potential glaze type of thing on here. I know there's a candle back here somewhere. There it is. You were hiding back there. Now, this should probably be a little lighter here because it's in close proximity to Mr. Candle. And again, we're just going to let you do the mixy thing. That might be a little too right over here. We did some of our darker glaze stuff there, so oh, look at that. Look at this. This is why the oils don't take as long to paint things, because I didn't have to struggle with that, did I, to make that blend happen? So Valfera here, that will vary each time. It kind of depends on the what is it you're trying to make glow. Oh, and also what's around it. That actually has a lot to say, Valfera. It'll change the approach sometimes. Here, actually, I started out with the white mixed with the fluorescent yellow and a touch of Indian yellow. Oh, here's the other thing that's changed in the process, Valfera, is now we have alkyd fluoros. Yeah, now that we have the alkyd fluoros and they set up so quick, I actually can kind of change my approach. This was the first time. This is because it's only the second time I've used the alkyd paints, but it's the second time painting this terrain piece here, so I was a little bit more familiar with some of the stuff we had to do on it. So yeah, it's really interesting, right, Velfer? When you kind of you try out a new material and maybe it does what you need, you say, oh, I think, oh yeah, that's right. I could take advantage of it this way or that way or whatever. And I think it means, well, Velfera, you'll be seeing it on the tutorial that I want to film. Yeah, that's going to involve the our new alkyds. Velfera, it's just, and I think it shows up on here. Now here, Velfera, this was more the usual approach where I did kind of the pin line wash for the brightest stuff, and I'll still probably do that here for like the brightest of the bright. I'll do the pin line wash thing. But now that I know how these things behave and potentially what you can do with them, it's definitely altering the approach a little bit. Like even this stuff I'm doing down here, Velfera, this if this were the usual stuff, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I would have to wait probably another 30-ish, 45 minutes or so before I could do what it is that I'm doing right now. Kind of a game changer, wouldn't you say? A little bit of a game changer there. Now, also too, I've been using these creature caster brushes essentially as glorified blending brushes because they're super super soft, and that also makes them, guess what, ideal as a blending brush, of course. So that is another thing I'm going to see if I can't secure at Adepticon. And that is it. Now you've got the shiny stuff going on here. That means we can't mess with that yet. Got to leave that alone for right now. You know, I'm going to hit that a little lighter, and then also over here. Nope, I got to refresh that brush. And Velfera, I got a new shipment of our number 8 round craft brushes. 48 of them showed up. What was it, yesterday? I think it was actually yesterday. Spread that around a little bit more. Fine, we'll have that. Move up that pylon a little bit more. Do a little something on you. Over here. Again, that is all wet blending. It's a dry brush motion, but it's all wet blending there. And massive advantage. Huge advantage to us. Alright, now we can start fooling around with these again because we have allowed that to set for a bit. Those are the ones from Hobby Lobby. Let's see, that's your set of 12. And what's weird is that they are, well, now $6. They were $6. Now they're only, I got these for just $3 a piece. Don't know why the price was less. I wish I could have gotten more. I'm sure the price might be back up to $6 again, but yeah, it was definitely nice getting them at the reduced price. So yeah, these are the Hobby Lobby sets of 12 craft brushes. Oh yeah, that's right, Landras, you got yourself a couple of filberts, right? What was the name of that brand again? I'll have to check out your the picture that you sent me there. I think there's at least 2 filberts that you got in that batch. And that was just on the Hobby Lobby site. So those particular brushes are always hard to find in the actual store. I can remember them not actually being with the other brushes. They were like in a whole other part of the store, hidden somewhere. Now we're starting to get the darker coals on there, which is going to make it look even more toasty roasty. And again, Sectorix, thank you so much for the paint handles. These are the paint handle here that is from Battlecraft Supplies. They are really tremendous, especially when it comes to doing really difficult to handle terrain pieces like this. I actually had to hack away at the hot glue with my wood carving tools to free this thing up. Well, the other one, anyways. Which, remember, it fell off during the stream. I haven't seen those, Velfera. So Camda, I have actually multiple places have sent me like literally pieces of gemstone. You know what? I might even have some of that here. Nope, can't get it. Let's welcome in Kagome's Fury. Kago, how you doing? Everybody please give Kagome's Fury a follow, because that would be totally free. So Kagome's Fury, I hope that you had a blast on stream. I'm sure that you did. If there's anything, as always, that you want to share, please go ahead and share that. And again, everybody please give Kagome's Fury a follow if you could. That'd be super. Maybe push this in a little bit more here. Hey, Blue Sage, nice to see you again. And here again, this is what we're working on. So we painted one of these on Thursday, about a 5-hour stream or so. It's a Marvel Crisis Protocol terrain. This was the Thursday before when we painted that stuff. And again, that's what we're doing now. And let me see if I can. Here, let's turn it around this way. So there you go. That's what we are working on here. Boy, Kagome's Fury, I'm really jealous. I am super jealous about that. That must have been really, really, really cool. Now, what scale was it, Kagome's? Because the only plane that I've had a chance to ever do on the stream was this 148 scale Dauntless here. That's the only one I've ever had a chance to do. Now, I still do have, I have that Full Galore. I have an ME 109. I have a ME 262. Thanks, Blue Sage. How you doing? And again, hopefully everybody has gotten through all the crazy weather stuff okay, because there's quite the smorgasbord of that going on. So here's hoping that everybody is okay, mostly intact. Okay, so if it's only 4 inches tip to tip, that must be, geez, that might not even be a one. That's not even a 1/72nd scale. That's like a 1/100 scale there, Kagome's Fury. That's like a 1/100 scale. Actually, that might be smaller than 1/100th. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen like a P48 or something like that be one Flames of War scale. Yeah, holy smokies. Yeah, Velfair, that's got to be. It's definitely smaller than 1/100 scale. Holy cow, that's pretty wild. And again, if you want to share anything in the chat there, Kagome's Fury, please go ahead. Now again, normally we're painting other things besides terrain, whether it's busts like that, or where's the miniature version of that? There it is. Or something, say, like that, the miniatures version of it. Everybody please check out that link that Kagome's Fury just shared. I wonder, let me try something here. Let me see if I can get away with doing this. Probably not just now, but I'm going to try it anyway. Let me try some of this in here. Now, sort of. No, we're just going to have to wait on that. We will wait. Let's do so. I know I can get to some of this here. Let me get some of you. Maybe even some of that. Start doing some grays in here. I was going to say it's definitely not 1/1800 scale. It's certainly not, because, well, you know, that's like a 800-foot long ship there that's only about 4 inches long. So that's Yeah, the B-17 would probably be about as wide as the widest part of Issei there. I mean, yeah, it would. You could fit it on that aircraft carrier deck, but not. It's still going to be hanging over the side a little bit there. A B-25 might not be, but. So everybody, again, please check out that link to Kagome's Fury. Just share it, and again, everybody, please give Kagome's Fury a follow if you could. So Kagome, thank you so much for the raid. We are using regular oil paints here. Regular oil paints out of the tube. They're not miniature oil paints or anything like that. Just regular oil paints. Regular oil paints. First of all, a whole lot cheaper. First of all, you get more for your money. Not just the fact that they're cheaper. They have way more pigment in them than miniature oil paints. Because miniature oil paints are chock full of things like linseed oil to make them smoother. And you think, oh, this is fantastic. It's high quality, smooth paint. It's like acrylics. It's like, no, that's just because they chucked a bunch of linseed oil in there and subtracted a whole lot of pigment. So, yeah, I was trying to grab this for you. Here we go. Because these actually fell down onto the floor. So I have these. The problem with using these Camda is, well, if you got to attach your miniature to it. Now, of course, I do a lot of stuff with hot glue now. It's just like the nightmare of trying to drill through that. So I've never really used them. I think I might have used them once on a base Camda. Let me get a little more. There we go. More of this grayish color out here. And of course, now that we're on our second one of these, we know exactly what color's got to go where. And then it'll be our last one. That's how it always goes. Nice to see you there, AD. Everybody please give AD Creations a follow. So AD, hopefully things are okay there. I think it might not be till tomorrow maybe when all that stuff kind of reaches NC. And of course, I know that, let's see, I think you've got do you have your final pictures of all of your Adepticon stuff there? I think you might have most of the final pics ready, I think. If you want to share those, please go ahead. Well, Camda, let me know how that goes. I mean, give it a shot. Yeah, you never know what you might discover, right, Camda? And again, please give AD Creations a follow as well. Yeah, AD, I mean, there was between Sarge and Grey Wolf and everybody sending me pictures of fires. Oh, there was an earthquake in Mississippi during a tornado outbreak. Let me see. And I think we're all caught up on everything. And there's a little more of that lighter stuff than I wanted right there. So you can see that there's not a whole lot of the semi-glossiness that's left from all of the pin line washes and such that we did. That's mostly gone now. Yeah, Edie, hopefully it's more like what happened here, where it was absolute insanity everywhere else, and then by the time it got to us, it was like nothing to see here and just moved on along. So Wonderful Wars says that smoke made it all the way to Minnesota. So Wonderful Wars, you guys had some snow today, right? Now there was talk about blizzard conditions in some parts of, I don't know if it was Iowa or Minnesota. But that's kind of crazy, right? Wonderful Wars to potentially have smoke and a blizzard going on at the same time. Because, why not? Why not? I'm going to try and get some of this gray up in here. Yeah, Wonderful Wars, it was 80 degrees here, and then after all of the storm stuff, it was 54, I think. It would be like ash. It's like it would be that famous Midwestern volcano going off there. Now we'll see if the Alaska volcano goes off. I don't actually. Armored Wolf, was that looking like it was stabilizing a little bit there? I know you were saying they have all those monitors, a whole net basically cast over it. I'm gonna hit this too. Yeah, let me get some of that mid-tony stuff up here. So yeah, this one's a whole lot faster to go through because A, we know where everything is going, but even just a darker primer. So Grand Oracle, this is kind of an exercise in the difference in, and I'm sure Ryan probably had to get off to sleep there because it's 12:30 now. But this is sort of another one of those exercises in the darker the primer color, the more time you save. I have to say for sure, for all the folks that have been watching my Creature Caster Road to the Resin Beast Patreon series, where we did one piece with traditional pre-glaze over basically gray primer, and the other one was, well, basically this kind of dark primer here. If they were both dark primer, I would, let's put it this way, there would be probably another 15 to 20% more towards completion than they are now. And I know that Ryan, we typically would talk about it, and I'd say, hey, did that save you about maybe 70%, or cut down about 20, at least 25 to 30% of the time? And we both agreed that it was more than that. Once you really get accustomed to doing the darker primer, it can almost start cutting down like 60% of the time. So Velfera, it's never black. It's the, oh, here you go. That's basically the exact color right there. It's always some form of brown or something like that. So Mount Spur is, it's being tricksy. So here's hoping also too that the folks around Mount Spur aren't having any black snow, because that would probably not be super convenient. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I know that's a bold statement. I know that's a very bold statement right there. Now, AD, did you get a chance to share your link there? Kagome's Fury. Everybody, please check out the link that Kagome's Fury just shared, and please give Kagome's Fury a follow if you could do that, please. So yeah, AD, I don't think you had a chance to share your. Oh, hey, Valfera. Speaking of sharing stuff, did you share your dragon yet? Yeah, sorry, Valfera. I'm like, there was something I was gonna ask you, and that was it. So sorry, Valfera. I meant to ask that sooner. My apologies. Let's see. Oh my God, that is insane. That's insane. That's insane, Valfera, because he shouldn't be doing those. He should not be doing those. He does not have the time and the energy to do that kind of stuff. Trying to get me a little. There we go. This has still got to wait a little bit on there. Oh, and by the way, that's just paint there. That's not an injury or anything like that. Actually, this is primer. Yeah, here we go. I was priming some ships. We mixed this transparent red and the black primer together. So that's, again, that's, talk about something that looks like dried blood. Well, there you go, right? So yeah, Velfair, that's kind of the evidence of how you know, kind of the really fun different primer colors that we can mix together. So everybody, please check out the photos there that AD Creations just shared. And again, everybody, please give AD a follow. Now, AD, obviously, you know, weather stuff aside, where you're going to be streaming tomorrow or Monday. And again, everybody, please give AD Creations a follow. So you can see we're still kind of doing the dry brushy stuff here. Ooh, we haven't done that here. Well, that's still too wet. Yeah, we can't do that there. So we're gonna say fine. You do that. We're gonna work up here. So Monday and Tuesday streams are coming from AD Creations. So everybody, please give AD a follow. So AD, you'll probably be painting the unicorn, right? That's my guess. That's my bet. I'm placing my bet on painting the unicorn. Let's do a little more on this here with our lighter stuff. Oh, yeah, I think that is... Wow, that has set very quickly. That is the other potential advantages of the alkyds when you're doing the this sort of glaze stuff with them. Is that, well, they're going to set that much faster, so you can get back in there much quicker. So it's not just the fact that things dry faster. You say, what's that? What do you mean by set? Well, it's kind of like you got some bread, right? You made the dough. You're not going to shove that in the oven. You're going to stick it in the proving jar for a while. Same thing with pottery. You're not going to shove that freshly made pot into the kiln all wet like that. You're going to let it dry for at least a day, maybe more. You might even put it into an oven, like a conventional oven, to actually dry it out even more before it goes into the kiln and goes boom. I gotta get a little bit more of that lighter stuff down here. Again, using this as a glorified craft brush here, just doing this dry brush stuff. And it was not very long ago that all of this was super, super wet. We're 1 hour and 40 minutes in. Yeah, this is all of 1 hour, 40 minutes, plus a couple of raids. I think 3 raids, actually. So we appreciate all of the raids, of course. I did do the other lighter stuff there. All right, that's fine. I'll put some of this into here. A little lighter there. Okay, yeah, these guys. Almost forgot these. We'll have to get some lighter stuff on our little jackals up there too, because reasons. 1 second here, let me get to something. Come on, that's what I need. Fine, we'll throw a little, oops, that was maybe a little more than I wanted down there. No big deal. I'm gonna get some of this more neutral gray out of here. We're gonna see if we can't do something that's a bit more on the magenta side here. But I might have to get me some more of my fast matte white out here. But first we'll roll with this. Where's my floral violet sort of kinda here? There we go. Maybe a little more of my magenta in there. all alkyds. Let me take a quick look at my reference, basically. Okay, so that did... We didn't get too light with that. All right, good to know. Good to know. Before I do too much stuff on the outside here, I do want to be able to stick my finger on that here and do this. Come on, there we go. Again, using that in sort of a dry brush fashion there. Can we? Yes, we can. Okay. And I don't think I want to go any lighter with this. Later we'll come back with something that is darn near fast matte white and do some really light stuff on there. Get a little something on you. Alright, our little doggies, our little jackals up here. Let's do something on them. Oh, that's right. I gotta get those gold collars going. Keep forgetting about that. Hit some of that here. Some of that over here. Did I get... Yeah, that is mostly just the are not Severus blue. Severus blue again. That's another. Oh, that's another one of the. I guess would you say more favored of the Paul Rubens alkyds. The poor man's Severus blue, and even poor man's cerulean blue. Paul Rubens, the poor man's colors. Boy, Velfira, I have not had a chance to print him out. I gotta try and print that guy out. Because he's just a much beloved character on the stream, right? Let me see, where's he hiding? He's around here somewhere. Where are you hiding, Jack? You're around here somewhere. Oh, he's around. There he is. There he is. There's Jack. Especially because everybody did like the shield, right? We might have done just a little bit of non-metallic on that shield there, and of course he really liked the where's those? Here we go. He really liked these. I gotta print out more of these again too, because those were arch villain. Actually, ooh, it might be interesting if I print those out bigger, as in like really huge, like mass, like on the bamboo or something, and see what the heck happens there. That would be pretty wild. Well, again, all that is a post-Adepticon adventure right there. That is not a pre-Adepticon adventure. Alright, so now our jackals, they've got some light on them now too. Haven't really done a whole lot on this. We're going to get a little bit of lighter gray on that. Come on, let me do this side too. Like so. I think we got, yeah, a little bit we can do down there. Now let's do something a whole bunch lighter on here. There's one of our liner brushes. There's one of our liner brushes. Get that all broken down. And let's start getting some of our latest light on whatever the heck this thing is. Don't know. Yeah, Velfira. The one thing I do remember about that, though, is that he's all that I think he was. I don't know if he was hollowed or not, but there was all that resin sitting on one leg, and I had him down in the basement. Of course, this was years ago, and well, it gets mighty toasty down there because there's no air conditioning in the summer. And needless to say, he kind of he started leaning over. He was a very tired jackal. So Valfera, basically that's what it was just set up as much work as possible. Basically stuff that could be interrupted suddenly, if need be. And that seemed to work out pretty well. That was a good approach, because literally it all hit like right about now is when things got real crazy. At least in this area, it was all in the hours. The other stuff was the hours leading up to it. But yeah, the super crazy time started right about now. And I certainly didn't want to be in the middle of this, not knowing what was going to happen. Because again, the suburbs, they had tornado warnings. Of course, it used to be we kind of, the suburbs were basically meat shields, that it would sort of chew through them before it got to us. Yeah, thanks, Velfira. Could use me. Well, I think we're also going to be getting some replenishment on this too here. So Kagoma's Fury, that's really cool that you're getting to paint that B-17. I'm very jealous. I actually do have a B-25 and 1/48 scale that we found at Little Wars years ago. It was like $5 for the. Obviously, somebody was just looking to get rid of it. The entire kit was $5, so we said, yeah, we'll get that. Now, Kagome's Fury, I guess here's the question, is as far as color scheme, are you going just the flat green? Actually, what kind of nose art are you going to put on that Kagome's Fury? Are you gonna go with what is that one game like World of Warships, or even like World of Tank, where you can do like the crazy skins? I think that's what they call them. I swear there was like one skin that looked like Cinco de Mayo or something like that for like an Iowa class battleship. I mean, just in case you want to do some kind of simple freehand or something like this. Oh, this is the other video. I think I will try to film this on Tuesday. Yeah, we're going to try and film that video on Tuesday. That's fantastic, Kagome's Fury. I'm going to see if I can't go no, we'll do it from this way, and then we'll go this way here. Let's do that on this side. Let's hit these now, I think. Yeah, and that stuff is starting to set a little bit more, so we can do a little bit more of our lighter stuff on these sconces here. Yeah, Kagome's Fury, like all those little ships, those are all resin printed. I have at least one or two. I think I have like I think it might be a Junkers 52, or is it a Heinkel? Or both. I might actually have a Junkers and a Junkers transport, and I might have a Heinkel. I think it's probably like a medium range bomber. I don't think it's a light. I think it's a medium. I don't think it's a Heinkel 111. Okay, we're just going to spread that way a little bit more. Let me look at my reference to see what did I do on the tops. Okay, so we did get highlights on those. All right, good to know. We did get some more highlights on those. So we'll do that here. We're just going to change that up a little bit. Now I think I can finally start fooling around with this. Yeah. I had to wait for the glazy stuff to set there. Now I can work on this a whole lot easier. Also, let's not forget this stuff up here. Like you do there. No problem there, AD. Just appreciate you being here like always. Fine, I'll start doing a little something here. Some of these edges. And what are we at? So we're not even at 2 hours yet. 1 hour, 53 minutes. And there's a little bit of stuff going on with this terrain piece. Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff going on with this. But there's a whole bunch of stuff that the oils essentially do for me. Stuff that I basically don't have to do. It's almost like all the tools that we're looking to get, right? Armored Wolf. Stuff that you could get that would basically do the work of 3 or 4 Armored Wolves at the same time. Let me see if I can't lighten this up here. So everybody, please check out Armored Wolf Productions on Etsy. And get lots of dice bags to make that happen. Because you keep forgetting that we are legally obligated not to allow Armored Wolf to get any sleep whatsoever. Which means if you get all those dice bags, Armored Wolf never gets to sleep. And that's how things should be. That is the universe and how it is constructed. Hashtag no sleep in Wappleville. Cranking some of that into there. Let me see. No. Let's go this way with it. And this away. Wonderful Wars. Oh, geez, Wonderful Wars. If you wanted to share some of your stuff in the chat there. Sorry about that, Wonderful Wars. I meant to ask you. My apologies for forgetting there. Like I said, it's been a bit of a crazy week, to say the least. Well, actually, more like this entire month has been insane. Pretty much. Doing this. More of that light down here. Get the blending brush just to pull that up this way. And I'm gonna get me some of that light along the tops of these. I still need to get some more of my actual fast matte white back out there again. Oh yeah, actually, and of course, Valfera, technically March 4th, it was kind of like a precursor version of this. what happened yesterday. That's okay. We won't go any light. Oh, we haven't really done our lighter stuff down here on this. We still can go a little darker on some of those coals and such on the on those torches up there. So we'll be doing that. Boy, Velfair, it's actually it's been all about Adepticon prep for, well, usually Adepticon prep begins in sometime in November, especially by December. What happens in February and March is that the goalposts keep getting moved, right, Velfira? So you're preparing for this and this, and say December, November and such, and then all of a sudden in February it's like, oh well, there's this too, and then in March it's like, well, oh yeah, there's this too. So yeah, there's stuff that gets added. Yeah, there's stuff that gets added along the way. It's like, well, wait a minute. Because needless to say, some of this terrain was not here in November and December. We'll throw it out there. In fact, this is the first one. Technically the second one was painted first, but yeah, this one showed up many weeks after the first one did. I'm like, what the heck is this box? And I opened it up, and it was Marvel Crisis Protocol, and I went, well, I know where that came from. I don't even have to look at the address. Did I do the... I sort of got some of the lighter stuff in there. So again, if I can't find these pieces in a couple of days or so, all I'm going to do is just say the heck with it, and I'll snip off these pieces here, and then just paint in some cracks and do some scorching, and it'll be battle damage. That's all it'll be. I'm going to start... Yeah, let me break this down some more. Is that light? Okay, for this, yeah, for this one it's light enough. Go all the way across here. So again, I can do this because all we did was a little bit of dry brush stuff. And then we did the pin line wash type stuff. And now we're just doing this. So that's why these dry quicker. That's why they're easier to deal with, because we're putting on very, very little paint. I know when people are first working with the oil paints, they essentially treat them like super slow drying acrylics, which makes them ultra slow drying oils. Yeah, you want to have less is more, and more is way too much. That is the philosophy that you want to follow when it comes to the oil paints. Hey there, Horns fan. So Horns fan, hopefully no dust storms or fires or tornadoes or snow or anything like that has hit you over the last 2 days here. It's been absolutely bonkers. Also, too, Horns fan, in the potpourri of dramatic events, you could even have your choice of earthquakes, because those have also happened in the last 24 hours. Let me see. So yeah, Horns fan, that was a rough game. I didn't really realize just how many players were injured, because I'm thinking, okay, this is the one game that they have a chance to win and actually work on that percentage, because they're playing the Ruse. And next thing you know, the Ruse had it cut down to 6 points, and I'm like, what is going on here? Also, all I can do is listen to the radio coverage, right? And I'm like, who are these guys? These are not the Bulldogs because that's how many players are injured. So see you later there, Sectorix. I'll shoot you some messages tomorrow there, Sectorix, and see how things are going. Really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And nice to see you there, Plankwalker. So Horns fan, I'm listening to this game. I had no idea who was out there. I couldn't literally not tell them between them and the. I couldn't tell puppies from pouches, basically. And imagine, if you will, you're starting 22, right? You're starting 11 on defense, you're starting 11 on offense, and subtract 3 from each of your starters. Not not just your rotation players or something, but your starters. Take away 3 from the offense and 3 from the defense, and play your very first game of the season. What could possibly go wrong, right? Right, Horns fan. So see you later there, Sectorix. Again, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate everything that you do. Let me get a couple more of these here. So yeah, Horns fan. Now there was a point in the fourth quarter where things kind of came a little bit apart for. There was also a really nasty collision. Yeah, there was a very nasty. Somebody was out cold on the field, and I don't mean like temper. I mean they were just out. they were down. Let me get some of my light. Oh yeah, I gotta get these edges too. Here, I'll get these guys. So Horns fan, we have been working with not just the new Paul Rubens alkyds, but the new Paul Rubens floral alkyds. This was the very first time we used them. On Thursday was when we were painting this, and they worked out on multiple levels. They worked out really well. So there's a couple of really critical properties that they have that really make them stand out. Now, there's certain disadvantages. Just like anything else, any kind of offense or defense, right, Horns fan? Usually you give up one thing to try and gain something in another. I'm going to use you as a glorified blending brush here again. Let's get some light on the corner of that there. Mr. Blending Brush again. Now, the downside, Horns fan, is that next Saturday, next weekend, they're playing Collingwood with not too many of those players back, which is unfortunate because they never play well against the Magpies, no matter what, even at full strength. They are most definitely not at full strength, so unless a miracle happens, I think they will be starting the season 1-1. Horns fan, I mean, I've been using them a bunch. The Griffins, well, you know how much I like the Gamlin ones, which unfortunately don't exist anymore. Now, the CAS alkyds, those were incredibly expensive, and they just are not good at all. I made the mistake of getting 2 of those. I will never be getting any more. But these, as far as availability, again, I got them on Amazon. I generally ordered them around 5 in the morning. By noon or 1 the next day, they were here. I mean, you can't get much better than that. That is what you call speedy delivery. So yeah, you can't go wrong with something like that where it's like, oh yeah, they're literally in my hands hours later. That is a massive advantage. Still waiting on that to set a little bit more before we do some dry brushy stuff in there. chuck in a little bit more of my light up here. So Samuel, this is Marvel Crisis Protocol Terrain. I forget what the heck it's called, but here's some more Marvel Crisis Protocol Terrain. So some of those are just individual terrain pieces, and the sarcophagus is part of another big building. Again, I don't know what this one is called. I do not have the packaging in here, do I? Nope, don't have the packaging in here. So yeah, between the price, now the downside of these is that should you, for whatever reason, be running out of these 50 milliliter tubes, well, you'll have to buy the whole set again. So Samuel, I hope that you're doing well. You'll have to pardon me because I'm not familiar. I've heard of Yu-Gi-Oh! I've never seen it. So any kind of, just like any kind of a comic book or video game references, most likely I will not get those. I'll just be like, I wonder what that means. So my apologies in advance. Again, if someone is trying to drop down some humor based on that, and I just kind of go, huh? That would be why. Wow, look at how fast these suckers set. Man, right in the... That is wild. I'm going to try and get me a little bit of light or something going on here. Let's grab some of you here. We're just going to drag that right across there. But look at this. See how that paint is darker there? It's wet blending with a dry brush, because that's the magic of the oil paints. It's the Horns fan. I couldn't say that once slow, so at least not without making at least 2 different Twitch violations. So yeah, I'm not even going to try and say that. I would definitely not do that one well. No siree. Now, oh, look at that. Look at that. There we go. A nice little bit of dry brushy there. Now we have ourselves some value working on that. No, I want it to be more of a dry brush. So I'm going to go back over here. There we are. So, I mean, let's see. Armada Mondays, I don't think we'll be doing more orc stuff on Armada Monday. Do I have one of the orky ships here? Oh, I do. Well, we might. Who knows? Maybe we do try and do a few more orky ships or something like that on Monday. So, yeah, I think maybe we could. So, yeah, we'll maybe be doing more of those on our Armada Monday. You know what? I still need to hit these surfaces here. We did the other stuff, but not those. Didn't do these yet either. Let's get to these guys. And then we have to do our lighter stuff on top of that. Two hours, 11 minutes ago, this terrain piece, it just had that primer on there and nothing else. That's it. Nothing else, just that primer. As we say, don't blink. You will certainly miss something. You know what, I think I could probably get these little guys in here. And again, using the artist oil paints. Let me hit that a little bit more. I don't even know if you might not be able to see what I'm doing there. I just have to drop those real quick like Also, that it needs to be a whole bunch lighter, because we got our candles over here. Let's get those. A little more of our light there. Boom, okay. Yeah, that too. Making this lighter. I think I can just get away with using that. I'm going to take this here. We got some of the Marginal Deep and now some of the asphaltum. We'll get our asphaltum out there. Maybe a little more of the asphaltum mixed in there. Now that's some of the downside. There's not really, there's nothing like a Van Dyke brown or an asphaltum in the alkyds there, but you could get, well, say like the Winsor Newton alkyds. You could get those, or you just take something like the coal black and mix that with maybe the umber color or something like that. And is it going to be the same as actual Van Dyke brown from Williamsburg? It will not. It will dry a whole lot faster than the regular Williamsburg Van Dyke brown. Very little doubt about that. So again, just trying to catch a smidge Ola of lighter stuff there in the entrance way. Now, I think that has set enough. I'm going to try and get my gray going in here again. There we go. Again with some dry brush, which is wet blending with all the stuff which is already there. A little bit of that Payne's gray into that. Nope, I'm going to have to attack it this way. So here, we didn't want to be hasty little hobbitses. We had to wait. And you can see now that's got some of our gray in there. This makes it stand out from the stone a little bit there. Let me try. Oh yeah, I don't want that over there. I want it over here. Let me try breaking this down some more. So Valfira, you're probably starting to fall asleep a little bit there after a crazy. Hopefully, again, everything winds down tonight, and you don't also have to be messing with that tomorrow morning too. Well, later this morning, because it's now 1:03. It's 2:03 for you. And there's at least, what, 3 people in Tennessee that I had to keep checking on. I know one of our Tennessee folks in Clarksville, that was more like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning when they were probably getting smoked. Let me get... Yeah, gotta get some of the paint off of that brush. And look at that, there's a big old pile sitting on the end of it. And we better get a little more of our light on these stones here. There you go. Start. Oh, we never did anything on these. I think we did them on the other side. That's right. No problem here. So yeah, I remember seeing the maps from Max Velocity when he first started talking about fire threats, and it was basically this little blob in southwest Texas. Then it was most of Texas, then it was most of Texas and most of Oklahoma, and then the fire warnings actually went as far north as Minnesota. I mean that escalated quickly. Now we're getting the more of that. Let's lighten these up. These edges here. Let's get these guys. Gotta wait on these because I'm sticking my finger on that, so no point in fooling around with that. Then we'll have to get some more of my fast matte white out there. That's definitely something I have to do, is replenish that. All right. Get a little bit more of that light right in here, so kind of you can see that almost like a little chain of highlights that happens. Touch more of that here and here. Blending brush. A little bit too much on the brush there. Oh, well, fine. We'll just work with it anyways. We'll just work with that, and now we're gonna really try and get some of this light over here in the corner where we got that that little candle. You can see we're almost basically using this like a filbert brush here. AD, it's the one thing that I kind of miss. Well, one of the reasons why, you don't see me with as much of because I had to use acrylic stuff last night, and there was a hefty amount of the acrylic or finger painting because I didn't have to worry about grabbing stuff and then, transferring the paint on other things. So yeah, there was some finger painting going on for sure last night. Definitely was making use of the inks and the golden acrylic. Was it the high flow or whatever? I think that's what those are called, right? And of course, everybody please give AD Creations a follow, and AD, if you want to share pictures of all of your fabulous Adepticon stuff, please do that. I never really did get any of the lighter lines along that. We'll do that, and now let's get some more of that over here. Like you do. Oh yeah, we gotta do a whole bunch of that on this side now. Mostly Mars Yellow Deep. There's a little bit of our lighter stuff in there. A little bit of fast matte white, and that's it. There will be more in the next round of this to get kind of caught up with the other 3, 4-ish walls, whatever, because there's these little jogs. cannot be too much thin. That's is something that does for some folks takes a little bit longer to get again used to that idea that hashtag no layers. We're not layering these things. We're just in many cases we're doing some dry brush on there, and then maybe a little bit of pin line wash, and then maybe some final lights. We're doing a lot of wet into wet blending. You chuck a color on there, another color, you take a brush to blend the two of them together, and you let that do all the work for you. Ask not what you can do for your oils, but what your oils can do for you. That's in the Book of Wapple, of course. So AD, sorry that you're so exhausted. Yeah, you definitely want to get yourself some sleep so that you don't end up sleep streaming. You know that's possible. How's about we welcome in Silent by Design? How you doing there, Silent by Design? Thank you so much for the raid, everybody. Please give Silent by Design a follow, because that's all by design. So Silent by Design, if you want to share anything in the chat, please go ahead. We're working on yet another piece of Marvel Crisis Protocol terrain here. There's this. We did one of these already. Yeah, Silent by Design. I was hoping you weren't getting hit by all the super stuff, which has been kind of everywhere. So that is what we're working on. We painted this one on Thursday. We painted this the previous Thursday. And now, as you can see, we're doing yet another one of these Marvel Crisis Protocol buildings here. Everybody check out that link that AD Creations just shared, and now also the link that Silent by Design just shared. Everybody, please give Silent by Design a follow. So yeah, Silent by Design. This is it's terrain for Adepticon because 'tis the season. So yeah, 'tis the season to be painting terrain for Adepticon, and that's what we're doing here. And it always seems to be Marvel Crisis Protocol terrain. So again, everybody, please check out that the links that AD shared, that Silent by Design shared. Please give them the follows for sure. Regular oil paints here. Regular oil paints. 2 hours and 24 minutes ago, everything on this building was this primer color. That's all it was. There was no glowy stuff. There was no nothing. Let me just get rid of this up here, because that's going to end up on the back of my hand and then somewhere else where it ain't supposed to be. Yep, that's what would happen. Now we're going to try and get some of our lighter stuff on the edges here. Come on, there we go. And because we're using our fabulous alkyds here, this should be, if it's not dry by tomorrow, it will certainly be by Monday. As in, like, completely dry. Because the other one, I was still painting that as of about, I don't know, 4-something o'clock in the morning on Friday. And that is now completely dry. Yeah, let me shoot a little bit of the lighter stuff onto that edge too. Why not? Try and lighten you up again. You can see when my hand is on that brush, nowhere near that metal ferrule. Caress the brush, do not crush the brush. Also in the Book of Wapple. I think we did do our lighter yellow stuff over here. Maybe we'll just chuck a little bit of that onto here. Just a little something up there. Maybe on these. Again, hands are going to be a long ways away from that ferrule. Yet we still have all kinds of control, don't we? No problem. Now, let me get more paint on that brush. That's more. Whoop, wait a minute. There we go. Not that blending brush. This blending brush. Wait a minute. Wait. Okay, I didn't do nothing with this in here. One sec. I hit that too. Did I get this side? Okay, I did get that side. Now look at Mr. Reference here because I want to see. Did I dark? I did darken those. All right. Not a problem because we got this. We have this. And we're going to do that. And then use that as, again, as a bit of a blending brush right there. Maybe we'll just get more paint out of it. Well, it's more generational wealth, right? Surface tension, more generational wealth. I'm going to hit that again. And now with the blending brush, doing this. Okay, we already did that one. Let's see. So Sleepy Slang says that Chidu Box has some vats that have a clip function for the FEP instead of doing 1,000 different screws, and half of them are so tight, not like you did them that way, but the FEP comes, but the screw's so darn tight that it destroys your $20 wrench, right, Sleepy Slang? That could certainly be handy. Yeah, that's yeah, none of that new alkyd wealth, right? Sleepy Slang or surface tension. It's the old, it's the old liquid wealth. Now, well, let me know how that works out for you there, Landrast. That should be super interesting to see. Oh, geez, I never did do the darker stuff on these. That's gonna make a difference. There we go. Well, this one already kind of had it there. The other one, not at all. Oh, I thought I did the other side. That's right. Well, we'll do these now. This side here. We will darken you down. Whoops, not there necessarily. Keeping you a bit darker. Is that my blending brush? This will be our blending brush here. Hey there, Artemico, how you doing? Artemico, you want to share some stuff in the chat? Please go ahead. So Artemico, yeah, if you got Yin Min Blue there, that's all you need. You just need yourself a little stockpile of contraband Yin Min Blue. Oh, that's what I need. I did have the violets sitting over there. This is going to make a nice little amber right here. More of that Indian yellow. So keep breaking this down here. Maybe even a bit more on the thinner. Up in here. Okay. So 16 ounces of actual vermilion. Well, there you go, Artemico. So when the zombie apocalypse happens and you cannot get that stuff anymore, You can trade that for food, for firewood, for all kinds of essential resources. What is it? Oh, that's what I'm looking for over here. And again, Art Michael, if you want to share some stuff in the chat, please go ahead and do that. Yeah, Art Michael, I still haven't seen any actual Yin Min blue in use at all. So I don't know actually. You know, what is it really all that, or is it just the fact that okay, it's a blue that we maybe haven't seen? It'd be different if it was okay. It did what Cobalt Blue does at a third of the price, but it kind of, to me, it seems like a more expensive Cobalt Blue, which is crazy, right? Actually, Denethor, it's probably shipped in packets of what am I trying? Mac and cheese. Yes, it's in the powder packs of mac and cheese. So don't eat the blue mac and cheese if you find one of those. That was how they were trying to secretly get Yin Min Blue into the country without people knowing it was there. Don't eat the blue mac and cheese. So everybody please check out that Instagram link that Arda Michael posted. So Arda Michael, hopefully the Lord of the Rings League and the I think you got a Bolt Action League 2 right going at the store. Hopefully those are still going nice and strong. I can't really make that too much lighter, can I? I want to try and get a little bit more of the bluish color, I think, in some of these grays over here. I wonders. Maybe we'll use this brush here. Let me get rid of this guy. Not you. Maybe this one. Let's see. Yeah, Arda Michael. I think your dice are like mine. This is printed on all 7 sides of the 6-sider. Because yes, if a 6-sider had 7 sides, ours would still have all 1s. Because that's, as the expression goes, that's how we roll. There we go. Now I can finally see a little bit of the blue into that now. Nice to see you there, AWOL Trooper. Everybody please give AWOL Trooper a follow. So Trooper, I don't think you had a chance to share stuff in the chat. He wants to do that, please go ahead. And everybody please give AWOL Trooper a follow. So yeah, there we go. See a little bit of that bluishness. What it does is starts to separate all of the stonework from the metal stuff. Now, Arda Michael, I hope that you have fun making that, and well, hopefully it does a little bit better on the dice roll side. No problem there, AWOL. If you got older stuff there that you really got a hankering to show or whatever, that's no problem. It doesn't have to be anything right from right now. If it's something that you maybe worked on a while back or something, that's all good too. Surface tension. I think you heard some of the stories where Kathy would get me those blocks of 30 dice, like the somewhat smaller ones, and I would grab 10 of them and I would roll 9 1s and a 2. And people would just be sitting there in absolute silence, just looking at the carnage that just happened. Because people would say, oh, you just need new dice. And then people would point to the 15 blocks of those 30 dice that people had gotten me. Everybody please check out that link that AWOL Trooper posted. So Artem Michael says that dice are like Australia. Everything is trying to kill you. Yes, dice are like Australia. Here, let me get some of that bluish color up there. And then we'll try to get back into some of those lights there. Grand Oracle, what I loved about my my baseball strategy game is that rolling 3 1s was every bit as good as rolling 3 6s. Because it was a 3d6 curve. The last thing you wanted to be rolling was a bunch of 3s and 4s. So all the people that were really good at that didn't go so well. And sometimes rolling a pair of 6s was actually a bad thing. You did not want to roll a pair of 6s. I absolutely loved the 3d6 curve. I could not understand why more games didn't try to utilize that. Actually, no games seem to. So yeah, Australia is definitely a place where the charismatic megafauna seem to have the upper hand. So again, everybody please check out what AWOL Trooper posted and give lots of kind words and kudos to AWOL Trooper. So AWOL, wasn't sure if you streamed at all earlier today or if you'll be streaming tomorrow. Gotta look at my reference to see what I did with these things on the side. Okay, those did not get too light then. Alright, we don't want to go too bonkers with those. Okay, I did get enough light on that, I think. Nice to see you there, Painterly Git. So Painterly, we've had blades in there. We've been talking about the Council of Miniature Painters that's coming up later today. And I guess it's been extended to 3 hours because we have the 2 guests. Because I was asking Blades, I said, how is that going to work with the 2 guests? Are we going to do one at a time or whatever's? Thanks, Painterly Git. Actually, Git, you saw the last one being painted, right? On Thursday, I'm sure that you did. Hey, Painterly Git, if you want to post stuff in the chat, like always, please go ahead and everybody, please give Painterly Git a follow if you could. Surface tension, that's what you call wild fowl, right? So Sleepy saying that you got to use the bad rolls when you don't need good rolls just to save all the good ones for tournaments. So you put them in a vault, right, Sleepy Slang? There's a special vault for good dice rolls. And that's something that is guarded with every resource possible. Now that's good there, Erdomichael. And again, I'm going to try to be painting. That's why we just kept painting the terrain here, so that I could basically keep the same camera boom set up and everything to be painting larger stuff on the council tomorrow. And try and make that a little touch lighter there. Alright, again, Painterly Git, great to see ya. And again, I'm hoping that everybody was able to survive all the crazy weather stuff that's been going on. We're talking about the big-time storms, the flooding, tornadoes, blizzards, fires, dust storms, even earthquakes thrown into the mix. So yes, indeed, in the middle of a tornado outbreak, there was an earthquake. That's when you know that something is out to get you. It was a clever ruse by Mother Nature to get you underground in the tornado shelter, and then hit you with the earthquake. Oh, I never did do the lighter stuff on these. Okay, let's do this like you do. Now let's get some of that. So yeah, Arda Michael, it was pretty much end of days. I think Missouri is now relocated somewhere in North Carolina. Yeah, they just relocated the whole state. Oklahoma is, well, that's gone. I think Mississippi is now somewhere in the mid-Atlantic now. So yeah, substantial portions of various states don't exist anymore. Let's get some more of this. Let's make this exist here. We also have some highlights that need to exist here. Over on these guys. Let's do that. And the only way I'm doing that is with this with the short liner brush, because I can move it this way, right? I can move it basically against the grain. And of course, look where I'm holding this brush. It's almost practically no longer. My hand's almost not on the brush anymore. Hey there, Arid. Actually, Grant Oracle, I think if you combine Australia and what was going on here, then you would have that. Like the 7 plagues. Yes, if you combine all of the charismatic killer megafauna from Australia. Everybody please give Adepticon wife a follow. So Arid, hopefully again, the Friday stream was sensational, and hopefully your Saturday stream was good. But yeah, sorry I didn't get to greet you after the Friday stream like usual. We got really, 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 really lucky. It was sort of like rolling several of these in a row. Well, Denethor, they often, say, okay, it's kind of like like a really loud freight train going right through your house. I guess when you have the earthquake at the same time, you really do get that effect. If you want to see any of the action, you can check out Max Velocity's YouTube channel and watch the 2 live streams that he did yesterday and today. Actually, during his this is one where several storm chasers, let's just say they got a little bit too close. And I think Armored Wolf and I actually had it on when the storm chasers said, "Our ears are popping." Well, that means we're inside the tornado. Yeah, there were multiple storm chasers that got, well, chased down by the storm. Here, let's get some light on these. Not so much maybe on those up there, but I think these guys could use some. Arid, boy oh boy, I've never tried, well, only one time did I ever co-stream with somebody. So Arid, actually, Kathleen, we tried to do that once, and we basically couldn't, because guess what? We were both fighting over the same bandwidth. So yeah, that kind, yeah, geez, I could see that, Arid. Sorry that didn't work out. I guess, you won't be doing that So yeah, max velocity. He used to have about 2 or 3 storm chasers. Now he's got about 5 or 7 of them. The other thing that he'll do is he goes into the various basically road cameras and stuff. So he can basically say, "Oh, look, a tornado is hitting here. Let's go watch." So Irid, well, that I know there was what was AT&T was trying to sell us on the fiber. So I'm glad that at least that works out for some things. Let's see, there was another storm chaser that got, actually 2 storm chasers got hit by debris, as in their vehicles got hit, and another one hit a fence. Yeah, another storm chaser hit a fence, wiped out their vehicle. Actually, the last two tornado outbreaks, one of the storm chasers has lost their vehicle to some kind of a crash or something. Now, surface tension has a much more dangerous problem there. The giant death orb in the sky threatens all of Welshlandia. Denethor, the weather definitely branched out. It sure reached out and touched somebody, that's for sure.